So we appreciate you taking a look at Yalo's virtual event as a service platform. We're going to do a quick demo for you today, show you a few different sections of the platform itself. We'll kick through the lobby, show you how you can run some of the sessions. We'll move then over to the exhibit hall, and then finally we'll end with the lounge and the networking portion of the platform. So one of the important things to keep in mind is that with Yalo's service, it really is about the overall experience. What you're going to get is pretty much full customization as far as a look and feel, just kind of matching that to your brand aesthetic. Not only are we providing the platform that you'll be using, but we are going to help and assist as far as pre and post events. So helping with some of the promotion leading up to your event. We will help with some of the content there in the form of social media posts. We'll come up with a few different emails as well, eventually landing you here for the attendee to kind of sign up and register for the event. We even, we've had some clients interested in doing physical mailed pieces to help with some of the promotion and some of the entertaining aspects of the event experience, and we'll kind of show you what that looks like here. But yeah, so starting here at the registration page, right, this is going to be kind of your typical information that you'll enter in to get signed in and registered for the event. If you look at the kind of page here layout, right, this is a lot of customization for Tiger Pistol, the client, and this is their colors, kind of their whole logo scheme and stuff like that. So just kind of showing you what some of that customization looks like on the front end on the registration page. So we'll click in here. I've got my name, right, my company info, email. One of the things we'll show you is a social component just to make content easier to share via social media. And so I've got my Twitter handle here attached to the account. And so I'll go ahead and register. Another thing you could do is if you wanted to have a type of welcome message from a CEO, a president, someone like that, maybe a featured speaker, you could have that welcome video if you wanted to have present your attendees with that here in the registration page. So this is the profile page, right? So if your attendee has not filled out any information or set up their profile, that's kind of where they would enter in all of this information. I won't go through all of it here, but I will show you, right? You can upload a profile photo, and we'll go in here and add my picture as my avatar, right? You don't have to use an actual photo of yourself. It can be any image. So we'll update the account. And you can see it's uploaded my avatar image here. Another thing we can do, and we'll show you some of the chat functionality, right? But you can have the guests sign in for the chat feature, and we'll kind of hit on that here in a little bit. But we'll move over to the lobby. Again, if you wanted to have that welcome message or video, you could do that up here at the top portion of the screen. So a lot of customization as far as how you want things laid out, very flexible to your needs there. For today's demo, we're just showing you what it looks like with featured live sessions. And so that's what you're seeing here. It could really be anything that you wanted to, though, as far as if you wanted to highlight certain sessions, upcoming sessions, or current live sessions, that type of thing. So the next thing we'll show you is the featured exhibit booths, right? So if you were going to have different sponsors for your event, this is where you could maybe have different sponsorship packages just to give some extra brand visibility. As far as branding, right? So for you, the host, right, you're going to be able to kind of use your logo, your backgrounds, all the buttons, graphics, and colors can be customized to your brand aesthetic throughout the entire experience. And then for your sponsors, for your partners, right, we can throw in logos throughout different parts of the event. You know, say if you want to have sponsors kind of sponsor the lounge, or we can maybe use that as a lunch experience as well. So you'll see where we can kind of call some of the co-branding opportunities throughout the experience. So below that is the concierge desk, right? If your guests have any questions throughout the event, they can submit those here, and you can field those via the web, or if you want to have that tied to an email address, you could filter those that way as well. So as a part of Yalo's kind of white glove service and support, if you needed us to help man any parts of this experience, we would do that. So we could help, for example, man this concierge desk if you needed us to throughout the experience. Another thing that's really great about Yalo's offering is that we do have customized widgets and just different little features like this that can be turned on or off. You know, if you have something custom in mind, you know, we'll do our best to deliver that. Just showing you an example here. So this is a notes feature. This will be a notes kind of pop-up that appears on each section of the event experience. And so really all it is it just allows your attendees to kind of keep track of notes throughout the event, and they can save those, and they can download that to Word. So that would then kind of download, and you could have that file to recall later. So now I'll turn your attention to the left part of the screen. So this is kind of the navigation area, and this will really stay static throughout the experience. But again, theme of the day here is going to be customization, right? Again, you can customize this section as far as the navigation if you wanted to have perhaps speaker bios, include more about me type information on your company. You could do that as well right here. And then I mentioned social sharing. So here's an example of what that would look like, right? This is Twitter. If you wanted to use another social media platform, perhaps LinkedIn, you could do that here and just make it easier to share the content out for the attendees. And then on the right side, right, you'll see we have a number of different ways to communicate for the attendees, the presenters, and the host. And so this is just showing you one example of kind of a global chat feature that is here on the main lobby page. So you can interact with other attendees. You can, you know, recommend different sessions to attend, some of the exhibit booths, stuff like that. And so that's an example of chat. So now we'll kick over to live sessions. So if you had multiple tracks running, right, this is kind of where your attendees could decide which events and which sessions they're going to actually attend. We make it really easy for them to add each session to their calendar. So you can choose, you know, Apple, Google, whatever calendar that you use, you could add your event to that. So there's a number of different ways you can run your sessions, right? And also, before I get into that, you know, it's just as far as layout, again, you can customize the sessions however you want it to. So yeah, a number of different ways to run the actual sessions, right? We'll show you a couple examples of that. Some people want to actually run it live with someone manning the actual session. And we'll show you that. Chris is going to kind of show you what that looks like here for 11 o'clock feature. Another option is some people want to have pre-recorded content. So this is where we can maybe assist you film some more higher def quality type of video content that you could premiere. And then you can maybe bring in a live Q&A session where we can then kind of go into more of a traditional video conferencing feature. So we'll head over to the live session just to kind of show you what that looks like. As far as attendee experience, right, we're going to make it as easy as possible for the attendees. So there's no signing in, no logging in passwords. So it's just a kind of a one-click to join. And that's what we're doing here. So we've got Chris here on the other end. He is kind of hosting this live session for us. So Chris can share his screen if he wanted to. He could do demos, any type of thing like that he could do. So if we were to arrive here earlier before the session started, right, it would tell us kind of when it began. We could have a countdown, that type of thing as well. Another feature, and then we'll kind of show you this here in another room, but if you wanted to have downloadable content here on the right-hand side, we could have that included as well. So we have Chris here kind of showing you what the session looks like. He's sharing his screen. Say that he had a presentation he was running and we had slides. We could download the slides to kind of follow along. So below that, we've added a Q&A window, right? So if the attendees have any questions for the moderator, you could even have someone on your team kind of helping field these questions while Chris is running the session. And you could do your best to get those questions answered. Again, this would be the area where the guest could log in to join the chat session, and this would be unique to this particular session. So each of these is unique to the room. And then finally, we have the concierge kind of desk stays static throughout the experience as well, just in case anyone has any other general questions. When it comes to technology for the sessions, we're not really beholden to any one technology. For this one, we're using Zoom and YouTube just to show you what that would look like as far as a live stream and a video conferencing, right? We'll do our best to work with whatever tool that you're most comfortable with or prefer. So now we'll head back over to the session's main menu. And we will hop over to an example of a pre-recorded session. So say I came in here and I was late or I missed this session and I wanted to come back and watch this. I could simply one-click to join. And at this point, I could fast forward and move throughout the session on my own time, right? It's a recorded session. I can go back and watch however I wanted to. Again, we still have the chat feature here, the concierge desk, and the Q&A sessions. And so another example of a module that you could include is polling. We've had a couple of clients ask about polling features, so that is indeed something we could include on any session that you wanted to as well. So we'll head over to the exhibit hall now. So if you chose to have sponsors for your event, right, this is an area where you can offer them the ability to have a live person kind of working a virtual booth. And just like the live sessions, right, you can arrange this however you want it to, right? If you wanted to do it by sponsorship tier, alphabetical, it's really up to you how you want to lay all this out. Again, customization, whatever works best for you. Also, like the live sessions, right, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. If you don't want to have someone live working the booth, maybe you don't have resources, that's where we can kind of come in with the general company video. And so we'll show you an example of that at the Cisco booth. So we'll hop over to the Dell booth, and Chris will be our Dell dude here. And so we'll show you an example of how this would work, really just trying to recreate that experience of walking up to a booth at an event. And so I can now interact face-to-face with Chris here at the booth. We can, have a back and forth about his offering. Up here, if we wanted to schedule kind of a one-off, one-on-one meeting, right, I can pull up via Calendly, which we've included the little module here. I can pull up Chris's schedule and I can select the time that he has available for us to meet one-on-one at another time. So just making it even easier for your attendees to kind of connect with some of these sponsors. Another option is this one-on-one chat, right? So Chris can, as the Dell guy, he can kind of field some of these questions as they come in. And then, of course, you have your Q&A module here, right? If you want to have someone kind of helping field some of the questions, and then your concierge desk as well. Another thing we've added, right, and I mentioned the digital takeaways. So if you have some materials that you want to leave with people, they could download this, right? So if I click here, it will actually download that file. So now we'll show you an example. Say you don't have the resources to kind of man that, that live booth, and you maybe want to just show a company video. So that's what this would look like in the Cisco booth. And so just running, you know, a high quality company video here, right? Still having the digital takeaways, still having your chat function and your Q&A session. All this kind of stays the same. But just giving you an idea, right? Especially if you needed some higher quality video, right? That's where we could kind of come in here and help you with some of that again. So we'll pop back over to the lobby, and the last thing we'll show you here is the lounge. So if you wanted to give your attendees a chance to kind of connect and do some social networking, right? We've had clients kind of use this lounge section for a number of different reasons, right? If you wanted to have your typical networking sessions throughout the event, right? You can have a number of those set up with various rooms. We've had people try and use it as a kind of recreating the lunch experience. So you can have multiple virtual lunch tables set up. But for this one, we're going to use it more as a happy hour lounge, right? So we did kind of a mailer that went out to all of the attendees for this Tiger Pistol event. And it was a branded 6-pack of beer that was sent to everyone in anticipation of this entertainment. So what we did here is we had all the attendees kind of join, they had their beer, and then we had musical act perform for the attendees. So there's a couple of different things you can do here to kind of infuse entertainment, right? You can do comedian, you know, if you want to have bands perform, that type of thing. We've even had like mixologists, or if you want to have a chef kind of hosting a cooking event. And so one of the things we could do is we can throw up additional information here, right? So you have certain drink recipes or dinner recipes that you want to throw up, we could do that here as well. And then again, all interacting here via the chat. And then another module, just for fun here, to have the attendees kind of compete with each other. Little gaming breaks here, and so we'll show you an example of one of those. So just another little fun escape as part of the networking lounge. So we'll kick back over to the lobby. That pretty much concludes the demo and what we had for you today. As you can see, you know, platform very flexible when it comes to branding, content, and you know, we've got some options there for technology. You know, going back to the sessions and the exhibit hall, right? If Zoom wasn't exactly a fit for you, or GoToMeeting, right? We can throw in some different options there, like we were showing you BlueJeans in the Dell booth. So a lot of functionality and options throughout the experience. You know, really our goal would be to sit down with your team, kind of walk through your goals for the experience, and really just do whatever we had to do to make sure that your virtual event was a success. So if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll do our best to get you some answers. And we look forward to next steps. So appreciate you checking out the demo.